3.2 external partners, Project 6 opportunities. I just wanted to make a short reflective video on Project 6. Quite a lot has happened. There's been turning points, some good news after various research and sending out emails and so forth, networking and discussing with some clients and pushing emails out to some establishments for exhibitions, such as the Carpet Museum, which is my first choice. Collating information from artists that come through the salon at work of where they've exhibited and so forth. So this has now started to lead to a little bit more in depth. It's also actually making the work feel real. So you go from your research, then you go into your line of inquiry of your textile discipline, pop ideas and so forth into a sketchbook and start sample making. And then when you start to consider where you're actually going to exhibit or where you could see your work sit with an external partner, it starts to become real and it starts to become realistic for the fact that work can be possible to achieve exhibiting to the audience. As I've once said before, I've never really had an issue with posting online to Instagram and so forth, allowing my audience to see my work. An exhibition would be fantastic, but it has been quite difficult to locate because I think it is now going into a new world of getting identity, and not so much seeing it as a project or a student assignment. So I think it's quite difficult to now try and pinpoint and for somebody to take the work quite serious. I've had some good news with Kidderminster Carpet Museum, as I previously mentioned in my blogs. They are going to possibly allow me to put on a small exhibition, or to go into the establishment and do some video footage and photography work and set up with some glass cabinets and so forth. They do like my work, but it didn't fit in with the craft-based heritage side of the museum, which I was a little bit disappointed because I just thought, well, I could possibly at some point go in there and do a talk, which would be an interest, and I'm sure it would captivate an audience. But we shall see. But this did open a new, hopefully a new experience. In September 2024, they are going to be exhibiting carpet stroke fashion, and they said that they would approach me as to whether I would maybe to either contribute with my textiles or possibly participate in organising that. So all was good there. Today I did my collaboration with Henry, who is a fashion student. He kindly came to my place of work, which was a good venue to hold it in. It's quite an industrial building. We didn't get to see the full capacity of that because we were more focused on music and movement of the textiles, but it was actually nice to see the work on a live body, because that has always been my part of my practice, to use the body as a platform. So he carried out, got involved quite a lot actually. He chose music for me, music that would possibly fit in with the textile piece or the knitted sample. And he did some modelling whereby he would use the theme unstructured play. And this has been quite successful. We've done some plain photographs. We've done some quite mellow, emotional footage of the sample pieces, and then we've done some energetic pieces with some loud dance music, so that it makes the samples and the textile pieces full of energy. So when all in all, that has all been positive, and all of this has happened in such a short space of time within Project 6. And then my collaboration with my knitting lesson, I'm still keeping in contact with the chap, and he's been offering lots of support and so forth. So that will be an ongoing collaboration, and also with Harry. for the future. So things are moving forward, and the work is still continue to move forward with developments. The collaboration today has opened up new ideas for some new sampling. I am still continuing to look at that dyslexia is my superpower. The raised lines of the paper will still continue, and the red line for dyslexia. I think that this has been, or it is becoming quite a strong theme. So all in all, I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place for further developments, and I'm also in a good place for some critiquing to push the work and make the work stronger, because I do want my work to come across now with the assessment criteria to start to become more in depth. I've also had follow-ups with my line of inquiries on my case studies. I am hoping to do 4 case studies, possibly one on the machine knitter, one with a dyslexic school teacher who used to teach children with dyslexia, my fine artist, Steve Cousins, who is a dyslexic fine artist. And I've recently just engaged with a client's daughter who is studying at Central St Martin's. Her discipline is knit, and she's now in her 2nd year. So I think that that would be quite interesting to look at her as a case study, to see where she puts her practice. And also to identify with somebody else as to whether they see that their work is either design based or fine art based, or does she see them as both? So that will hold some interesting conversation. My approach to it, as of yet, I'm not too sure as to whether they will be video and audio or possibly written report, but I am still at the stage of planning, and all of the questions that I do need to ask the candidates will all vary and be different, because I think that they will be applicable to their areas of expertise. So I think Project 7 is going to allow me to push this further. I did okay with case studies 1 and 2 with the course materials. It is quite difficult when you're doing a case study about yourself, not so much on another practitioner, but I think it'd be good to do case studies on live people. So all in all, I think things are moving forward. For Project 7, I think I probably do need to concentrate a little bit more on more academic writing, less sample making. But I think the sample making has started to move into a new direction already. What with my things to do notebook and writing down new ideas and so forth. So again, it's the way that I work in my methodical cycle and the structure. Padlet is working very well with sketchbooks and research, and showing the visuals with the practical making. So I'm really enjoying this as a tool on my blogs, and it's pretty easy to use. So I'm looking forward to Project 7. Just got a few things just to tie up, and then we're ready to go.